Page 16, Estudiantina. Major and minor themes, or major and minor melodies. I'll get to that in a minute. Let's look it over. 3/4 time, 2 sharps, so it's either D major or B minor. Okay, well, this is, I guess I'm talking about major and minor melody. The first melody at the beginning here, you're in B minor. But then when you get down to the bottom, the last measure, page 16, you go into the next melody. Now you're in D major. They both have 2 sharps. They're parallel to each other. They can do that. But would probably say it's in B minor. It starts in B minor. It ends in B minor. It'd be in B minor. It can go to any number of keys in the middle. Who knows? But that's what they've done here. So you get the major and the minor keys both. You ought to be able to do both scales. The D major and B minor scales anyway, and you ought to be able to do the arpeggios by now. Once you get to this level, you need to be doing those. If you're not, you're holding yourself back. You really are. You're going to cause problems as the music just continues to get more difficult. You won't be able to play it very well. Take my word for it. Been there, done that. At the beginning, well, you have a pickup. We only have 2 beats in the first measure. We're coming in on beat 2. So there's got to be another beat or measure somewhere with 1 beat in it. If you look at the very end, at the bottom page 17, the coda here, it's got 1 beat in it. They didn't give you a thin and thick bar line at the end. They should have, in my opinion. That double bar line, the second one should be a thick one. You can take a pencil and widen it out because that's where it ends right there. And here's 2 and 3 and 1 and... Basically the idea. When you get to the second theme, starting at the last measure on page 16 here, I leave out all these grace notes and things when I'm first trying to figure it out. Those are ornaments, and I put those in later when I do the articulation. That's just my approach. So I leave it out. So if I'm going to play the grace note with third, then I'm going to play that with second. Go through and play it all. Make sure you can play it. Third line down on page 17 in the third measure. They have a 4, 3, 1, and that's okay if that's what you want to do. So starting with the first line, you're here. You see the AVA above that? You got to go up here. And they want a 4. I prefer not to cross over the thumb anymore than I have to. So on that third measure, I do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then cross over. I'm only crossing the thumb once. I use it once, so it's here. That's what I recommend. And once I got that, I can play it and I get rid of the hesitations. Then the staccatos, short staccato. The tenuto, hang on to that all the way through. Just don't cut that as short. I connect it to the next note. And on this left hand, you have a staccato and then not. Well, the repeated notes, they're staccato, like it or not, because you can't connect them. I typically do an chuck chuck on waltzes. Look on page 17 here. I just do an chuck chuck. By the way, I use thumb for both of those. You don't have to, but I like to. So this chuck chuck, it's not a short staccato, it's just separated. Well, that's how I'm going to play it on page 16. But the first note, staccato. And then chuck chuck, staccato. Chuck chuck. Now there's staccato there. The reason you get staccato there, this is the second line on page 16, next to the last measure, is because it matches the right hand. You're playing with the right hand, where before you didn't play with the right hand on these notes. Here you are, so they put in staccatos to match it, is the purpose there. So it's staccato. here, and I do a 2, 4 here. They want a 1, 3. I like 2 better. And that's staccato. Bring both hands up together here. Going on, last measure. The grace note's a very quick little note right before it. Now, third line down, I use the thumb on the D. That way I'm closer. Here. Here. Staccato. Dynamics, go to the right hand. Whatever you think soft is. Third line, or the end of the second line, you start going, go up to about a moderately soft, just a little bit. And then come back down, and then you're soft again. Now, when you go to the next page, you're loud here. And you're staying loud pretty much through the whole page. However, get to know it well enough you can feel this, because you can get a little louder and softer as you feel it. Just stay in the loud side. Now at the end, at the bottom of page 17, third measure, they want you to crescendo up. Go up to all the here. Send it to here. Okay. But the DC sends you back to the beginning where you're soft. All of a sudden. Well, that'll be fun. The coda sign is at the end of the third line on page 16, where you just come down to soft and immediately go, and you're soft here in the coda. You end it soft. Well, that's what they're saying. I don't know. Speed. Allegretto is between moderato and allegro. I call it the fun speed. To think about a nice fun waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1. Not a fast waltz or a slow, just a fun waltz. Has to be accurate, so whatever you can play accurately, especially on these runs on page 17, whatever you can do all that accurate and even and controlled, don't go any faster than that.